following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
America, Phoenix, Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. God bless you today, and thank you for tuning into the radio program. Today's Bible study, Ginsburg is gone. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? I'll make some announcements and give you some time to make that call. Thanks for your help. This is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor, certified counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road, in the heart of Maricopa County, Arizona. HardcoreChristianity.com is the website. And if you'll notice on the website there, we have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday nights at 7 o'clock, teaching, healing, and deliverance at every service. At 7 p.m. it's also broadcast on our youtube.com/House of Healing AZ teaching channel. Both services are broadcast live, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Also on the website, you'll notice that we have all kinds of teachings. And we have a monthly free seminar. The last 2 have been the bomb. The third one will equal it at the end of October. Part 3, the Encyclopedia of Biblical Spirits. Lots of interest in this seminar series. You'll very much enjoy it. Don't forget about the PayPal button on the website. Thank you for all your donations for the last 18 years. Don't forget about downloading our Tithely phone app so you can donate using your cell phone. And thank you for all your prayers over the years. Ginsburg is gone, folks. Wow. She lasted a long time. Of course, she was a Supreme Court justice and was a remarkable person, had a remarkable history. She was Jewish, and she was an incredibly intelligent and bright person with a huge IQ and an extremely likable person. She was best friends with Judge Scalia, and they were at polar opposites on their view of the Constitution and how it applied to the laws of the United States of America. But taking a look at Ginsburg's background, I am so grateful she is no longer on the court. She was a plague in some respects to the teachings of the glorious gospel of Christ and Christianity as a whole. A couple of quick examples. The Bladensburg, Maryland case, where they had a cross on the grounds for 100 years. It was a memorial erected in 1925 by Gold Star mothers in honor of their 49 fallen boys who died in World War I. The demonic Democrats and the far left Satanists wanted the cross taken down because it was on government property. Well, it went all the way to the Supreme Court, the Bladensburg decision. It came out 7-2 in favor of the cross. Sotomayor, who was in the same boat as Ginsburg, a radical type leftist person, voted against the decision. 7 others voted for it. Ginsburg said, quote, "As I see it, when a cross is displayed on public property, the government may be presumed to endorse its religious content." Okay, on the face of it, that statement is absurd because at the same memorial, on the same grounds, they had menorahs posted there. She never said anything about that. It's quite remarkable. The decision said that the park was a public forum open to all and the expression of all, and could not therefore exclude a Christian cross. Ginsburg said in her dissent that, quote, "A Jewish child who passes by the Capitol would surmise that this is a Christian country, thus provoking the conclusion that there's something wrong with me. You can see the mindset here, how ridiculous her mind operated, that a Jewish child would look at a cross and see something wrong with themselves. Wow, that's, on the face of it, that's nuts. If you drove by a mosque, would you see something wrong with yourself? How about if you drove by a Jehovah's Witness ward? Would you see something wrong with yourself because you drove by and looked at it? This is the absurdity of Ginsburg, and she had a very anti-Christian switch in her brain that caused her to criticize it and fight against it. In addition to that, Ginsburg was very damaging to other Christian beliefs. For example, United States versus Virginia, the VMI case in 1996 allowed women to attend the school and enter the military. The all-male provisions of the school was struck down. The big one, of course, was Obergefell and Hodges, Obergefell versus Hodges in 2015, wherein she determined that gays have the right to marry. And of course that was dramatic and changed the face of the United States of America. In Leviticus and Romans, in the Old and New Testament, the Bible is clear that homosexuality is a sin. Back in the early 90s and late 80s, the DSM from the American Psychological Association classified homosexuality as a emotional or mental illness. It was taken out in DSM-3, which came out in the early 90s. And now it's amazing. Homosexuality, as you know, is normal now here in the United States. And the devil is now starting to normalize pedophilia and transgenderism. Those are the next two things he's working on. And he wants those completely accepted and completely normalized within the next couple of years. In Sessions versus DiMaia, that decision came out in 2018. Ginsburg ruled to increase limitations of the federal government in deporting illegal aliens. In Whole Women's Health versus Hellerstedt, that case came out in 2016. Ginsburg cited on the concept of expanding abortion protections, which has currently led to the current Planned Parenthood clinics and others who allow for abortion up till 9 months, and in some cases infanticide after the child is accidentally born alive. They're allowed to kill the child. And let me tell you something, friends. People that do this kind of things, you can't help but pick up demons, and I mean powerful demons of death. The spirit of death follows these abortions. I mean, it's horrible. I have cast demons out of hundreds of women who have had abortions. And the guilt and the shame and the spirit of death that got into their body when they murdered the child, absolutely horrible. And these demons manifest pretty heavily when they come out. They don't want to come out because they're cold-blooded killers. But by the way, if you were a woman, you had an abortion, you committed murder, God will forgive you and he will cast that demon of death out of your body. Most women who have abortions end up with weird or strange illnesses later in life. That's caused by the spirit that enters their body at the time they kill the child. And that is an incredible, incredible sin. Very, very dangerous. Very, very spiritually scary. The new replacement for Ginsburg, folks, it's like a miracle. Donald Trump was selected, I think, by God, like King Cyrus. King Cyrus was not Jewish. and did not fit in with the Torah, the laws of God, obviously. And Donald Trump, of course, he's not a Christian either. He doesn't fit in with the laws of the New Testament. But in the same way God used Cyrus, God sent America Donald Trump. He's got a narcissistic personality, and he fights back at the drop of a hat. And although from an emotional standpoint, most people don't like that, from a practical standpoint, that is exactly the kind of person to face the deep state and the corrupt, wicked, evil, criminalistic people who work in the federal government. Our government is rotten to the core, filled with demons and sin, and God sent Donald Trump in there as an unconventional weapon to expose the evil sin of our government and to fight back against it. And if he loses the election, I pity the fool who's going to stay in America after that, because America is going to change like you can't conceive and believe. Satan's going to run amok in this country. He's going to put the hurt on us really bad. He's already started, obviously, with COVID and the racism hoax, the COVID hoax. He's got several more hoaxes he's going to run through on us. But America is going to crash and burn like none of us have ever dreamed it could if Joe Biden wins this election. The woke crowd and the Ginsburg crowd and all of these progressive, sinful, Christianity-hating liberals, and they truly hate the Lord Jesus, that's for sure. Practically everything he said they hate. And our country is going to change rapidly and drastically. If you are a born-again Christian, you have got to vote next month. You've got to vote next month for Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't like his narcissism either. I don't like his sin and his, personality traits at all either. I'm in your boat. But he was a necessary evil and a necessary fighter sent by God to try and save this country for a few more years. We've only got 4 more years of Trump, and it's imperative that he get elected. And the new Supreme Court justice will be an incredible blessing to the United States and a perfect replacement for the liberal, anti-Christian Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.